just under. Oh, it looks like Kermit the Frog. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. Where today, because the new Ninja Turtle movie just came out, and I take it. I'm awesome. It really did inspire me to redraw the Turtles in my style. And I have to say that I'm like a long-time fan. Since the 80s, I grew up with the Turtles. The art styles that have gone through time with the Turtles has been amazing. Going from the original cartoons in the late 80s, early 90s to what it is now, there have just been so many different iterations of the Turtles. And that's what I love. The Turtles live through multi-universes, but also multi-generations, and it just surprises me and amazes me that the Ninja Turtles have gone through so many generations after my generation. It's always been something that the kids can latch onto. So what I wanted to do today was take each character but draw them in their own style. So like with Mikey, I wanted to draw him just a little bit more kiddie, more friendly, and the idea is like going along those lines. Like Raphael would be just a little bit more dark. I was thinking more Batman kind of ish style. Leo was going to be more of like a heroic, I guess Iron Man or I don't know, X-Men type of drawing. I wanted to do that today, and I already started on Mikey, and I just thought I'd take you guys along the journey. But before we get started, here's what I wanted to show you. My nephew just pulled this puppy out. We went to go watch the movie, and we got this pail. And my nephew has been collecting almost... he started collecting these turtle toys. I don't know if maybe these are something that you haven't seen, but these are from like the 90s. This one, you can open up the shell, and he basically turns into like a turtle. So it's the transforming turtle into the teenage turtle. See, as you can see in here, he has the head. It turns into a turtle, but it's basically like a transformer, and then you turn him into like a little turtle. And then you have the original. Oh, this is not the original. This one looks like the original. But with this one, he had a open shell that you could store like his weapons inside. This is part of the new movie, Mr. Superfly. And then you have this one here. It's so funny that my nephews, they saw this one and he does this, and they thought he broke him. And you just squeeze the legs, and his head pops up. So we have the Raph. And we have the Leo version of that, and it's so funny that they thought they broke them, but that's just how the toys were made. Boop. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys again, like, this cartoon has carried through generations, through my brother and me, and now my nephews, and those before him, my younger cousins. And it's been a long time since I've actually drawn? That's not a word. Drawn? Yes. It's been a while since I've actually drawn the Turtles. The last time, I remember one of the last times that I drew the Turtles. It was a really cool kind of depiction, but I think I had just come back from Hawaii, so I drew the Turtles on vacation. Donnie was like on a scooter, Mikey was on a bike or something like that, and they were all dressed like in Hawaiian kind of clothing. Just showing that they're on vacation. But other than that, I want to get straight into the video, guys, because I want to get to these drawings. I've been excited, and the fact that I already kind of drew out Mikey. You may not be able to see him here, but I put this screen up here so that you guys can see my process. But I will record it at the same time. I'm going to start recording right. Oop. 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, let's get into it. I'm going to start off with my sketches first, as you know. I'm not going to go into the drawings just yet, but I wanted to take you on this journey. Alright, let's get it. First is Mikey. We got Mikey down. I think I wanted to do Raffy. I want to do Raphael next, so let's work on a Raphael. Out of all the turtles, who is your favorite? Mine has to be, I mean, I've always gone with Mikey, but again, like, I feel like the more you learn about the turtles, and maybe that's something that they should be focused on this time around, is like maybe they should do like a backstory on each turtle and their personalities, you know? Because that's one thing to look at. You know what? Let's move on to Mikey. This is what I wanted for Mikey. Then I need his turtle shell, and we're just gonna do these like wavy lines, kind of like almost square-ish, but not fully round, to indicate where the edge of the turtle shell is. Do the same thing on this side. It doesn't have to be perfect, because, I mean, turtle shells, they're not perfect themselves, you know? Nothing is perfect, guys. Everything has a little bit of flaw in it, but that's what makes it beautiful.
The next morning.
It is a brand new day. As you can see, it is daylight right now. I started drawing this last night. I woke up early in the morning and started continuing. So last night, or early morning, this morning when I woke up, I started seeing things differently. So for instance, this was the original picture that I had imagined having Donnie and Mikey and Raph, kind of like the TMNT characters off of the new movie, Mutant Mayhem. So let me show you where I started and where I'm at right now, because I continued that drawing, and I'll show you along the way basically what I had done. Because one thing that I changed, the original Mikey version, penned version, looks like this. The one thing I did change was the pants, not the pants, but the shoes, on how he was sitting, because it just didn't work with, I added a building and it just didn't work with the building. So I actually made him a little bit more casual, and I ended up giving him some slippers instead. So this is what he was, and now this is what he is. So he has the slippers, and plus the angle of the shoes on this one just didn't, again, it didn't match the angle of the building when I drew in the building. And so, as you could see, a part of his neck is missing because Donnie is over here hugging him. And so, let's go to Donnie. Donnie. So, this was the Donnie that I inked. We'll get rid of the sketch version of him, and so here he is, and I'll show you the changes that I made with Donnie. Maybe you could see it, but one thing is, from the original, I gave him a pop socket instead, because I felt like that was just a little bit more characteristic for Donnie to have a pop socket. He's got the glasses, and what I wanted to do, or what I did, is I changed the way his arm looked. So okay, so this is the original, And I felt like, if you could see here, I felt like his neck and shoulders weren't doing what I had thought. I don't know, I just felt like it didn't match. So I ended up changing that and how he stood. So it goes from this to this here. So he's got a bigger smile. He doesn't have the braces. I switched that out. I gave Mikey the braces instead. Which you could see right there. There, I put him on. There. And I took off Donnie's braces. So his arm is just a little bit slightly different. The way his head is like leaned in is a little bit different, as opposed to the way it was before. So as you can see here, his neck is a little bit thicker there, and I gave him more of a chin. Here he's a little bit more rounded, so he's got like a baby face thing going on, which I didn't want to keep in there. So I gave him a chin, which, you know, adultifies him just a little bit more. That's not a word, but we're going to make it a word. Hey. I gave him headphones to go along with his ensemble. And yeah, he's got an armband here. I'm going to color that purple. And then he's got his Apple Watch. Mikey's got the bracelets instead, and slippers instead, the braces. He's the younger cat. Okay, so now with Raphael and Leo, again, this was the original idea for Raph, was to go with this kind of version of him, where it's like a little bit more comic book look. Okay, so this is what I originally had him like, but looking at Mikey and Donnie, I was just like, I really like the way they look, and so I wanted to continue that version of Raph and Leo. So here is where I went with that. So let me turn this one off. This is the sketch that I had made for Leo and Raphael. So I imagined Raphael being, you know, the taller sibling, even though he's younger, because I feel like every younger sibling has maybe an inch or two, maybe more, on the older sibling. So this is the way I made it. I made Mikey and Donnie just look a lot younger because they are the younger brothers, and then Leo, I had him look a little bit more, I made him look older, and then Raphael is just this humongous little brother. You know, I've always had friends like that too, man. I'm taller than my brother. I have a friend named Ikua, and his little brother Kepa is actually 6 foot. I think he's like 6'2". And again, I think that's just the way it goes, and I thought I'd have more fun doing it that way. So here's what they look like now. This is a big process you guys missed, but I'll put it in time lapse so that you guys can see the process of all that. So here is Raphael and Leo inked in, and Raph. And see how Raph even changed up. So I had Raph kind of like, I wanted him kind of pushing Leo's head down. I knew that already, because they're all trying to get into the selfie. But instead of him leaning over just like Leo, I had him instead push him down, and his head scoots in just a little bit more, so he looks more like that. And here we are with the finished version of all the turtles. Donnie's missing a foot, but this is the finished version of the turtles. So far, I really like where it went. Leo here, he's got his sword on his side, and if you can see, like, I have all the weapons kind of displayed. Mikey has his nunchucks around his neck. Donnie has it on his back, his staff. Raphael's holding one of his sais in gesture of like, look at me, or maybe one of these, but... And then here's Leo. He's got a little bit of shadow happening, right? He's got these little dots happening. 5 o'clock shadow, he's got a necklace, his sword. I don't know where I wanted to put his other sword, but they all got pants on. Raphael has a hoodie, a cut-off hoodie. Donnie has some cargo pants. Mikey has some like joggers, and so does Leo. Leo has some like, I want to say like ninja joggers is what I imagined him being in. So other than that, I'll show you guys what else I added to it, and I think from there we'll just keep on going. I don't want you guys to have to sit through all this because it is a very long process. I looked at the time lapse, and it took me 3 hours, I think, to get to here. Maybe just a little bit more because after I watched it, I did add more things here and there. So here is what I'm adding to it. There they are sitting on top of a building. The New York City buildings in the background. We got the Statue of Liberty here in the background in the far back. So they're taking a selfie while on top of a building. Again, they're young kids, so they are exploring more of this city. But that's where we are now. And again, like I said before, guys, like when you're drawing, sometimes if you're going off no reference, don't commit. You know, keep sketching, keep drawing, have fun with the picture, because things may change. A lot had changed. Even like the idea of this whole piece wasn't even supposed to be something big, but along the way, it started to become bigger and bigger in my mind. So have fun with it. With that being said, let's fast forward to when this piece starts to get colored, and I'll show you guys that process through time lapse as well. So let's go. Alright, let's get some coloring, guys. I'm going to base it off of these guys here. So let's put the turtles. Donnie. Okay. Just under. Oh, it looks like Kermit the Frog. Okay, now that I have the colors picked out for the turtles, the hard part begins. Actually adding the detail, dimension to the turtles. So I'm not gonna let you guys sit through all this because I'm probably not gonna talk, because I really want to focus on getting it down. This is probably gonna take some time, but again, you guys won't have to see it. We'll fast forward through it, or I'll show you the time lapse of it. But so far, it's looking really good. I'm really, really happy with it. So let's fast forward.